1. Stuck zipper on your jacket problem. Your jacket zipper just won't budge. One trick result: rub a plain graphite pencil tip along the zipper's teeth. Graphite acts as a natural lubricant, helping it glide easily without damage. 2. Foggy restroom mirror. After a shower problem, you see yourself in the glass after a hot shower. One trick result: before your shower, rub a thin subcast of liquid cleaner on the glass and wipe it off with a dry cloth. It creates a hedge that prevents fogging for days. 3. Lines and dishes tangling problem. Every time you take out your bowl, it's an involved mess. One trick result: use a simple binder clip attached to the edge of your office and thread the string through the essence circle. No more untangling, ever. 4. Cutting cutlet without ruining it problem. Cutlet slices stick to the cutter and deteriorate piecemeal. One trick result: warm the cutter blade under hot water, wipe it dry, also slice. The heated cutter glides through fairly for perfect slices. 5. Losing your keys inside your bag problem. You spend twinkles digging through your bag for keys. One trick result: attach a small carabiner clip to your keys and hook it to the inside swatch of your bag. Easy to snare every time. 6. Boiling water overflowing problem. You're boiling pasta or rice and the pot foams over. One trick result: place a rustic ladle across the top of the pot. The ladle breaks the bubbles before they unmask over. 7. Ripe shoes problem. Your lurkers smell unwelcome after a drill. One trick result: place dry tea bags inside each shoe overnight. Tea leaves absorb humidity and neutralize odors naturally. 8. Shelling garlic incontinently problem. Shelling garlic cloves is slow and sticky. One trick result: put the cloves in a sealed jar and shake roundly for 15 seconds. The peels separate incontinently. 9. Drinking straw floating in soda problem. You put a straw in your drink, but it keeps rising up. One trick result: flip the soda pop can tab so the hole is over the opening, also slide the straw through it. The tab keeps the straw in place. 10. Sticky price label residue problem. Removing a sticker leaves a sticky mess. One trick result: apply a bit of cooking oil painting to the residue, let it sit for a many twinkles, also wipe it down. No recalling demanded. 11. Dropping nails or screws while working problem. You're fixing commodity, but keep dropping nails and screws. One trick result: wrap a small attraction around your wrist using a hair tie or rubber band. Now you have a glamorous cuff that holds small essence corridor while you work. 12. Dull scissors problem. Your scissors aren't cutting well presently. One trick result: fold a piece of aluminum antipode several times, also cut through it with the scissors. It sharpens the blades incontinently. 13. Sticky swab in the shaker problem. Humidity makes your table swab clump together. One trick result: add many grains of raw rice to the shaker. Rice absorbs the humidity and keeps swab free flowing. 14. Keeping apples from browning problem. Sliced apples turn brown snappily. One trick result: dip them in an admixture of water and a little balm juice. The citric acid slows oxidation so they stay fresh longer. 15. Fine sealing attic blades problem. Drawing your ceiling addict sends dust far and wide. One trick result: slip an old pillowcase over each blade and pull it off. The dust stays trapped inside the pillowcase rather of falling each over the room. 16. Coffee too hot to drink problem. You make coffee but have to stay ever for it to cool. One trick result: drop in a couple of ice cells made from frozen coffee, not water. It cools your drink without soddening it down. 17. Stubborn jar lids problem. UCA and open a tight jar lid. One trick result: wrap a rubber band around the lid for redundant grip, also twist. Workshop every time. 18. Avoiding spaghetti sauce splashes problem. Tomato sauce splashes far and wide when cooking. One trick result: place a rustic ladle across the visage while stewing. It helps reduce splatter and keeps your cookstove cleanser. 19. Bad smell in the fridge problem. Your fridge smells stinky indeed after drawing. One trick result: place an open box of incinerating soda pop outside. It absorbs unwanted odors naturally. 20. Keeping belting paper from unrolling problem. Gift serape rolls keep opening and getting crumpled. One trick result: cut an empty restroom paper roll, slip it over the wrapping paper, and it stays neatly in place. 21. Losing the end of tape recording problem. You're in a hurry to wrap commodity, but can't find the end of the tape recording roll. One trick result after using the tape recording: fold back the last half-inch into a small triangle. Coming time, you can snare it incontinently without scratching and wasting tape recording. Why it works: the folded end prevents the sticky side from sealing flat onto the roll, saving you frustration and time. 22. Cables getting tangled in your bag problem. Earphones, charging lines, and USB cords ever turn into a knot in your bag? One trick result: wrap each cord around 2 or 3 fritters. Also secure it with a twist tie, binder clip, or indeed a chuck clip. Extra tip: you can also store cords inside an empty sunglasses case for a distraction-free trip poke. 23. Foggy auto windows problem. In cold or stormy rainfall, your autos and side windows fog up, making it hard to see. One trick result: keep a small sock filled with raw rice in your auto. Rice absorbs redundant humidity from the air, helping fog from forming. Perk tip: shaving cream on the inside glass, wiped clean, can also act as an anti-fog subcast. 24. Toothpaste squeezing struggle problem. The toothpaste tube always seems to run out too snappily, but you know there's still some left. One trick result: use a bull leg, hair clip, or binder clip to push from the bottom of the tube overhead, forcing the remaining paste toward the opening. Why it's useful: you'll be surprised at how important redundant toothpaste you can get without cutting the tube open. 25. Pilling on clothes problem. Sweaters and t-shirts develop bitsy fur balls after several wetlands. One trick result: use a disposable razor or a pumice gravestone to gently shave off the fuzz, making clothes look brand new. Warning: do this sluggishly to avoid cutting the fabric. 26. Overboiling pasta water problem. You turn down for an alternate, and the pot boils over, creating a messy stovetop. One trick result: place a rustic ladle across the top of the pot. The bubbles will pop when they hit the ladle, precluding tumbles. Why it works: the wood's face disrupts the frost's face pressure. 27. Watering shops while on holiday problem. You're down for many days and don't want your shops to dry out. One trick result: fill a large coliseum with water, place it on a copper light, and run strips of cotton fabric, like from an old t-shirt, from the coliseum into each factory pot. The water will sluggishly wick into the soil over several days. This works for both inner and out-of-door potted shops. 28. Keeping ice cream soft problem. Your ice cream becomes gemstone hard in the freezer. One trick result: store the ice cream hogshead inside a sealed freezer bag. This reduces air exposure and ice demitasse conformation, keeping the texture softer. Extra tip: works great for chalk and ignited goods too. 29. Keeping earrings together problem. You lose one earring and the brace becomes useless. One trick result: store earrings through the holes of a button. This keeps the brace together and distraction-free, especially when traveling. Why it's great: buttons are small, flat, and easy to fit inside any jewelry box or trip poke. 30. No further water rings on furniture problem. Cold drinks leave watermarks on rustic tables. One trick result: use coasters made from thick felt, cork, or indeed jar lids lined with fabric. However, gently rub it with a blend of equal corridor ginger and olive oil painting to restore the wood's finish, if you forget and a ring forms. 31. Finding the right key in the dark problem. You're at your door at night, hands full, and you can't tell which key is the right. 1.1 trick solution: use different colored nail polish or permanent markers to color code each key. For example, red for the main door, blue for the gate, green for the mailbox. Why it works: your brain registers color faster than shape in low light. Extra tip: glow-in-the-dark nail polish makes it even easier when there's no streetlight. 32. Keeping salad fresh for days problem. You prepare salad in advance, but it gets soggy in the fridge. 1 trick solution: store greens in an airtight container lined with a dry paper towel. The towel absorbs moisture, keeping leaves crisp for up to 5 days. Bonus tip: if you're packing a salad for work, put dressing in a small separate container and add it right before eating to avoid sogginess. 33. Unsticking a stuck zipper problem. Your jacket zipper is stuck halfway and refuses to budge. 1 trick solution: Rub a graphite pencil tip along the teeth of the zipper where it's stuck. Graphite works as a dry lubricant, helping it slide smoothly. Alternative: lip balm or soap can also work in a pinch. Just apply sparingly to avoid staining clothes. 34. Keeping brown sugar soft problem. Your brown sugar turns rock hard in the container. 1 trick solution: place a slice of fresh bread or a few marshmallows in the container. They'll release moisture, keeping the sugar soft for weeks. Why it works: sugar absorbs the moisture from the bread or marshmallows, preventing it from clumping. 35. Stopping shoes from smelling problem. Sneakers develop an unpleasant odor over time. 1 trick solution: place and use tea bags inside each shoe overnight. The tea absorbs moisture and odor naturally. Extra hack: baking soda sprinkled inside for a few hours works too. Just shake it out before wearing. 36. No more wasted soap slivers problem. When a bar of soap gets too small, it slips out of your hand and ends up wasted. 1 trick solution: press the small leftover piece onto the top of a new bar while it's still wet. They'll stick together and form one usable bar. Why it works: moist soap fuses easily, letting you use every last bit. 37. Preventing boiling potatoes from cracking problem. Potatoes split open and get mushy when boiling. 1 trick solution: add a pinch of salt and a tablespoon of vinegar to the boiling water. The vinegar strengthens the potato's skin, keeping them intact. Bonus tip: this also works for hard-boiling eggs. Vinegar helps prevent shells from cracking. 38. Stopping your mirror from fogging after a shower problem. You step out of a hot shower and the bathroom mirror is completely fogged. 1 trick solution: rub a small amount of liquid soap or shaving cream on the mirror, then wipe clean with a dry cloth. This creates a thin protective film that prevents condensation for days. 39. Opening stubborn jar lids problem. You're twisting with all your strength, but the jar lid won't budge. 1 trick solution: wrap a thick rubber band around the lid for extra grip, or run the lid under hot water for 30 seconds to slightly expand the metal. Why it works: heat expands the lid faster than the glass jar, loosening it. 40. Avoiding onion tears problem. Cutting onions makes your eyes water uncontrollably. 1 trick solution: chill the onion in the fridge for 30 minutes before chopping. The cold slows down the release of the sulfur compounds that cause tears. Extra hack: cutting onions under running water or near a lit candle can also help disperse the irritating fumes. 41. Keeping ice cream soft in the freezer problem. Your ice cream turns gemstone hard in the freezer, making it nearly insolvable to lade. 1 trick result: store the ice cream vessel in a zip cinch bag before indurating. The redundant subcast reduces ice demitasse conformation and keeps it scoopable. Perk tip: if it's formerly hard, let it sit at room temperature for just 5 twinkles. It'll be perfect without melting too much. 42. Avoiding messy paint barrels problem. When you pour makeup, it drips down the side of the can, making a mess. 1 trick result: stretch a rubber band vertically across the opening of the can, and use it to wipe redundant makeup from the encounter. No drips, no sticky lid. 43. Reheating pizza without making it leathery problem. Leftover pizza reheated in the microwave oven becomes soppy and leathery. 1 trick result: place a small mug of water in the microwave oven alongside the pizza. The humidity prevents the crust from getting resilient. Extra tip for crispiness: reheat in a visage over medium heat with a lid on. It warms the rubbish while crisping the base. 44. Fixing scratched wooden furniture problem. Your rustic table has small face scrapes. 1 trick result: rub a admixture of equal corridor ginger and olive oil painting into the scrape using a soft cloth. The ginger darkens the exposed wood, and the oil painting adds shine. Perk tip for darker wood: use a matching color crayon to fill in deeper scrapes before applying the admixture. 45. Stopping straws from floating in soda barrels problem. You put a straw in a can of soda pop, and it keeps floating up. 1 trick result: turn the tab of the soda pop can around so the hole lines up with the straw. The tab holds it in place impeccably. 46. Reviving dry mascara problem. Your makeup has dried out before its expiration date. 1 trick result: add a many drops of saline result, or eye drops into the tube, close it, and roll it between your triumphs for 1 to 2 twinkles. Why it works. The saline restores the right texture without cementing. 47. Keeping bananas fresh longer. Problem: bananas turn brown too snappily. One trick result: wrap the stems with plastic serape or aluminum antipode. This slows down the release of ethylene gas, which causes growing. Redundant tips: separate bananas before storing, they grow slower piecemeal than together. 48. No further water spots on spectacles. Problem: bathe spectacles dry with cloudy water spots. One trick result: add a teaspoon of white ginger to your dishwashing wash water. It neutralizes minerals and leaves spectacles sparkling. 49. Precluding trash bag collapse. Problem: when you throw commodity heavy into the trash can, the bag slips down outside. One trick result: stick tone tenacious hooks upside down on the outside of the caddy and circle the bag handles over them. This keeps the bag in place no matter how full it gets. 50. Snappily cooling a hot drink. Problem: you make tea or coffee, but it's too hot to drink. One trick result: pour it into 2 mugs and back again many times. The increased face area cools it down briskly without lacing it with ice. Perk tip: essence mugs or ladles also draw heat down snappily if you're in a hurry.